URLs, what you can use to download our studio. And I'll spend some 20-30 minutes of teaching you how this data analysis can be done in a very, very, very easy manner, right? So many times we start believing that data science, data analysis needs a lot of programming. You need to have a computer science background, right? You should know Java, .NET, C++. Right? This is what many of us feel. It's a wrong kind of a thought. We need not know any of these things. We need not get into what's called hard coding. None of this is needed. Most of the time, what we use are very simple 2 line, 3 line, 4 line codes, which will give us amazing output. So, input, what we give is a code on the data set, what we have launched, and then we'll get an output, right? So, it's a very, very simple process. It's a fear what we have in our mind that numbers is very difficult, mathematics is very difficult, statistics is very difficult, programming is very difficult, modeling is very difficult. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible so that you are able to drive away the fear. That's the first objective. Second, you'll understand how even the biggest of business problems can be solved using any of these tools. Third, today every corporate uses analytics in a big way. Let me give an example why analytics is big important today. All of us use Uber, Ola, right? Every day. We find so many people using an Uber for hailing a taxi, or they use a Ola. Okay. So every time when we get into the app of Uber or even Swiggy, Zomato, anything for that matter, Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, Dunzo, right? All of these mobile apps are creating a revolution. So many of us use a Swiggy, right? So I'm getting into Swiggy. I'm ordering some food. Let's say I'm ordering some biryani from Talapakati, right? I'm also ordering for some Nenjalimbu Korambu. I'm ordering these two, right? And Hema is ordering something else. Akshay is ordering something else, right? And then Nitya is ordering something else. Sweta is ordering something else. Jay Kumar is ordering something else, right? So as we keep ordering on a hourly basis, minute basis, companies like Zepto or Zomato or Swiggy are having lots of information. Let's say I ordered a biryani, somebody else ordered a chicken, somebody else ordered idli, or somebody ordered a idiyappam paya. Right? So many food products are being ordered. Okay. So what I can do is I can find out on a Saturday, Sunday what are people ordering. On a Monday morning, Monday afternoon, what are people ordering for breakfast? And on a Friday evening, what are people ordering? Which age group of people are ordering what? Which areas are they coming from? Let's say, for example, OMR. Thanks to Siriseri, thanks to a lot of IT companies around, you have a lot of bachelors, right? And most of the time, bachelors either they eat in the companies itself or in the place where they stay, food might be provided. So probably on a Friday evening or Saturday evening, they might be ordering lots of pizzas on a Domino's or in a Pizza Hut, right? So I can go back and find what kind of pizza are they ordering. Or they're ordering with cheese, without cheese, with lot of topping, without topping, or they're ordering pastas. Along with the pasta, are they also ordering a Coca-Cola, Pepsi Cola? Are they also ordering a lava cake? So what I'm trying to find is what is the pattern emerging on a Friday evening, on a Saturday, on a Sunday afternoon, on a Sunday night, on a weekday. So this is what the data gives me, so much of information. So what I can do with this information is I can talk to restaurants. Let's say I'll talk to Talapakatti, I'll talk to Domino's, I'll talk to Pizza Hut, or I'll talk to Adyar Ananda Bhavan, or I'll talk to Sangeeta, right? And then I'll tell them, friend, look, there's so much of sales happening on these days, whereas on a Monday to Friday, there is no sales happening. Why don't we give a 20% discount, 30% discount, 100 rupees off for an order of 600 rupees and above? So where do you think these offers you get originates from? It is data analytics. So they try to find ups and downs, pattern. So what it tries to do is when the demand is very high, you don't give offers. Why should you give offers? But when demand is very low on a Monday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon for a Swiggy, you suggest, why don't we give these offers? I just gave you a very, very, very simple example. On the other side, let me give you an example of Uber or Ola. So many times, you know that, let's say if you're living in Tambaram and if you want to go to a place like Krompet, normally you pay 40 rupees in auto. But suddenly between 9 and 10:30 in the morning, rates goes up to 80 rupees. It's called peak time or prime time. Same thing, evenings 5 o'clock to 7:30, 8 o'clock, suddenly it's called surge pricing. The price is surging. It goes up to 80 rupees, 100 rupees. So what you normally pay for 40 rupees, you end up paying double. How do you think a mobile app works all by itself? You don't have anybody sitting behind and programming. This is what's called machine learning. So I'll try to get a lot of concepts as we go along. What is machine learning? What is big data? What is artificial intelligence? Right? So a lot of things might be little alien, very difficult, but just listen to this. Right? So what happens is now as we keep listening to these concepts, the understanding goes up. So let's not shut out telling that, oh, this is difficult, this is tough, this is not going to be helpful. Right? Remove all that from your head. For simple reason, future for all jobs is going to be numbers. It's going to be analytics. I'll just give one simple example. Let's say a company like Infosys. Infosys in Chennai. Let's say they have around 2 lakh employees working or 1.5 lakh employees working. So you should know what divisions they are working, what are their functions, what have been their performance. Should we give a salary hike? Should we give a bonus? Should we send them to an offsite? Offsite means should I send them to an USA or to UK or to Europe or to Singapore? How do I take a decision? Data science, data analytics comes in handy. Let me give you another simple example to make you understand. Very simple one. Let me give an example of VIT. VIT in Velur. Okay. Let's say they got around 6,000 engineering students, and normally when TCS goes to VIT, they pick around 800 to 900 students for placements. Okay. Let's say if you have to pick 800 students in one day or 1.5 days, it's inhuman to do, impossible to do. That's where data science comes in handy. I can feed in all the data of the students in terms of the marks, 10 standard marks, 12 standard marks, the grades, what they've got in the degree and in the engineering program. Right? Also, as a TCS, as a company, I would have conducted a quantitative analysis test, or I could have had a GD round, or I could have had an interview round, where there'll be a lot of scoring that would happen on a particular candidate. Let's say if I'm going to have 3,000 candidates, I have to take a quick decision whom I have to select. I can do in a fraction of a minute. If the data is all structured in a format that is needed, I can just put it up in Python, or I can just load it in RStudio, and then I can get a lot of output. So let's say I want students only above 80% marks or 8.5 CGPA in their engineering, 75% above in 12th standard, right? And quantitative tests, I need to have students who have got a 9 on 10. I can get all the data. I can do a ranking. And based on that, I can get a report and then I can do a scoring on it. See how the entire process can be eased, right? Okay, just a quick introduction what I did. I have a very structured presentation today. Let me take you through the PowerPoint what I have. Any questions? If you got any questions, you can ask me anytime. I want all of you to ask questions. Yeah, I think the screen is visible. Okay. So this is about me. Professor Chandrasekhar made a quick presentation about myself, regional head, HDFC Bank. I was a banker, and then I was also heading Christ University MBA department, and I did a lot of analytics and analytics related work. And I've trained 2,000 plus students in the area of HR analytics, marketing, banking analytics, and I use all these tools: RStudio, Python, Tableau, ClickSense. Right? Trust me, I don't have a mathematics background. I don't have a science background. Neither I have an engineering, computer science background. Trust me, I don't have any of them. I'm a commerce graduate. a commerce postgraduate, like many of you here, and my MBA specialization is marketing. So numbers are something what I was not interested in because I found it as boring and very tough. But as I went along doing it, I found it so easy. So the point what I'm trying to tell here is if I can do, you can also do. And that is self-belief. That is self-confidence. Right? So I'm involved with most of the B school like Christ University in Bangalore, St. Joseph in Bangalore, ITM in Chennai, Indo-German Trade Center, VIT, IMARTICUS, Ramchandra Medical College. They got an MBA in healthcare. So I do a lot of work on healthcare analytics. So many areas is what I really focus on. So this is briefly about myself. Okay. Harvard Business School. It is said to be the top business school in the world. And they have a magazine by name HBR, or Harvard Business Review. So in the year 2012, they carried title, a first page title, right, on the HBR, or the Harvard Business Review. The title was Data Scientist, the sexiest job in the century. So what they predicted in 2012 has become a reality now. It took almost 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, but this is the space to look for all young minds like you. Okay. So why should you pursue an analytics course? Right? It looks like an overbridge. It looks like a probably so many roads winding across. It's almost a puzzle. Which road, what I should take. Right? So this is the state of mind we would be, and there's nothing wrong in it because all of us go through this. Even when I was young, I was also confused what kind of a career option I should be taking. But again, when you talk with the right people, when you join the right courses, you'll get a lot of clarity, and it's not difficult at all. So today's presentation deck, first and foremost, I'm going to talk about jobs, salaries, number of jobs available, and which are the companies in Chennai, which is focusing on business analytics. And there are lots of companies in Bangalore. If somebody's interested, business analytics, hundreds and hundreds of jobs in Bangalore. Chennai is also some good measure of jobs. That's the first part. The second part is I'm going to touch base on what is business analytics. And with that, we'll also do a very simple case study of Walmart and TCS so that your understanding goes up. Let's start with BA careers. That is business analytics careers. Okay. So what I did is I went through three portals. These are HR recruitment portals. So I guess many of you know what HR portals are. Right? When you do a Google search and then if you want to find a job, you get into Naukri, you get into LinkedIn, or you get into Indeed. So these are some of the top companies which provides employment opportunities. Right, you have a lot of job offerings across. It can be for a technician, it can be for a lab technician, it can be for a physiotherapist, it can be for a school teacher, it can be for a computer science engineer. Right, these are some simple very interesting portals where it gives you a lot of opportunities. So as on February 2023, Naukri has got 11,966 jobs for analytics. I want you to go and search this. I'm going to give you a task a little later. Right, and LinkedIn today, LinkedIn, like okay, I'm not too sure how many of you are there in LinkedIn. I want you, all of you, to be part of LinkedIn. Like Facebook, Instagram is for socializing. LinkedIn is more professional. Right, some of you, I guess, would be part of LinkedIn. Right, so we all know what a Facebook is. We all know what Twitter is. We all know all of these are social media in terms of putting up your pictures, your photograph, your stories, your reels. Whole lot of things is what you put up. But LinkedIn is professional networking. And what happens in this LinkedIn is they also give you job opportunities. They tell you that computer science engineers, they want people, or they want people for Australia, for UK, international jobs, or also for data analytics, business analytics. So I was searching, and then I found there are 5,169 jobs for data analytics. Of course, all this is across the country, right? And then Indeed.com is another big HR portal, job portal. And then I was able to find 9,156 jobs, vacancies for something like analytics, right? So this is opportunity. This is exactly the opportunity what you're talking of. And then there's also the salary levels, which is mentioned. And these are some interesting numbers for us. And these are again from these same websites. The salary range is from 4 lakh to 15 lakhs per annum, and the average salary is 7 lakh per annum, right? So, as most of us are freshers, you can't expect a 15 lakhs or 8, 9 lakhs. But for every rule, there's an exception. But when you join as an associate or when you join as a trainee, you start at 4 lakhs salary, right? So, probably it's a decent number. 4 lakhs today is a decent number because today, even an engineer, after he does an engineering from Anna University affiliated college, he ends up getting 3.5, 3.6, 3.8 lakhs. You've seen your friends, your brothers, sisters, cousins getting such kind of a salary. Right? So business analytics is slightly at a higher level where they offer you 4 lakhs. And with experience, it goes up to 15 lakhs. With 4, 5, 6 years experience, it goes up to 15 lakhs. And average salary is around 7 lakhs for a person with a 4, 5 years experience. Right? And I was also looking at companies and salaries, a snapshot. For example, the first one, I guess all of you know, is Amazon, the arrow mark. Amazon, in February, they were looking for people for data analytics. The salary what they offered is precisely 7,47,049 per year. So what does it mean? 7,47,000 per year divided by 12, almost around 60,000, 62,000. Deloitte. Deloitte is a financial consulting firm, US based. They offer a salary of 6 lakhs 81,000. Accenture, they're a consulting firm, a US based consulting firm. They offer almost on 6 lakh 30,000. American Express, it's a bank, but Indian operation, they provide a lot of back end support for Amex in USA, the credit cards, a lot of things, 5 lakh 63,000 per year. This is again February 2023. These are jobs. Team leads. Team leads is a HR recruiting firm. So what they do is, let's say if a company wants temporary staff, they would do this. One part of their business. The other part of businesses, they also do recruitment. Team leads is talking about analytics job salaries at rupees 5 lakh 36,000 rupees. So money is good, that's for sure. And you can always go back and check any of these websites what I said, so that the validity comes in, authenticity comes in. So it's not that now we are talking in thin air. Okay, so now the question would be, we are using this word data analyst, business analyst, are they one and the same? So this doubt should be coming in your head. Who's a data analyst? What is business analyst? Who is a business analyst? Do they do the same kind of job or are they different? So to make you understand what is the difference between a data analyst and business analyst, I'll also take you through Flipkart, right? After this, after 2, 3 slides, how exactly the work in a company like Flipkart, a data analyst would do every day, and what would a business analyst would do, right? So that you'll get a clarity. That's the purpose. Okay. So to understand the difference between a decision analyst and the business analyst, first let's look at the ecosystem. The ecosystem means the big picture, the entire space. That's what the ecosystem is about. Today we use the word called decision science. Why science? Science means cause and effect. We talk of science, right? Chemistry is science, physics is science, biology is science, right? So what do I do in a chemistry lab? So I mix two chemicals, right? I mix oxygen and hydrogen and I get water, H2O, right? That's cause effect. That's what science is about. Where social science is all about psychology, sociology, commerce, economics, all of that is social science, right? Whereas pure science is about cause effect. I do this is the result what I get. Right? Just think of your chemistry lab, what you did in a 10th and 12th standard. So today, the entire analytics is called as decision science. So under the decision science, we have what's called as a data science, right? So what you're trying to tell here is just not about numbers. Numbers, we are attaching this element of science into it. So when we talk of a science, we talk of an institution, when we talk about many things, it gets into a higher plane, right? And in data science, we use this data analytics. We're just funneling down, right? It's like a funnel. It's coming down, coming down, coming down, right? And then in data analytics, we have business analytics. When businesses do, it's a business analytics. Like what is it? Flipkart, Amazon, Uber, Zepto, Zomato, Swiggy, or LG, Samsung, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, HSBC, American Express Bank. When they do analytics, it's called business analytics. Astronomy also does analytics. Let's say people working in NASA, they want to find the distance between Earth and the Moon, Earth and the star, right? What is happening in the solar system, right? They also do a lot of calculation. They do use this data science. Military uses this. I'll give you one example of good example of military. Geophysicists use. So geophysicists are the people where they try to find where are diamond mines, where is petroleum reserves found, right? Just think for a moment. Two-thirds of the world is water, and most of the time you will find a lot of oil reserves in deserts and in underneath the sea, underneath the ocean. How will you find? Very difficult. Data science helps. It helps you. It gives you what's called as the latitude, longitude. To a certain extent, it predicts where exactly you might have all this available there, right? And then you also have business analytics, right? A subset what we spoke earlier. It can be industry wise, retail analytics. Retail is the example what I gave. Flipkart is retail e-commerce. Amazon is retail e-commerce, right? Or it can be or it can also be somebody like a Zomato, Swiggy. They're also in retail. Pharma, Ranbaxy, GlaxoSmithKline, they do analytics. All these pharma companies. And then you got the BFSI. BFSI stands for Banking, Financial Service, Insurance. For example, LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, they'll do analytics. HDFC Bank will do analytics. State Bank of India will do analytics. Indian Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Bank of, right? You have so many banks. All these banks also do a lot of analytics. This is what's called industry analytics. And then you have functional analytics. Let us say we'll talk about Swiggy. In Swiggy, we'll also have HR department. Right? They would be the people who would be recruiting new staff. Right? So they also have to do analytics in terms of how many people are joining, how many people are leaving. It's called churn rate. Churn. How many people are joining, how many people left, the reasons why they left. Is it about a salary or is it about work condition? Right? That is HR analytics. Marketing analytics, which is the customer who is coming to me? Who is the customer who is coming to me? When did he last come? How much did he buy? What did he buy? All that is market analysis. Let's say, let me give an example. Let us look at Big Bazaar, right? Big Bazaar. What kind of customers are coming into Big Bazaar? Are they men, women, youth, children? Who are coming? How much are they buying? Are they buying for 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees? When are they coming? Weekend, weekday? What products are they buying? Are they buying bread, butter, jam, or are they buying makeup products, cosmetics, lipstick, gloss? What are they buying? Or hairstyling gels? What are they buying? Or they buying commodities like rice, ghee, butter, right? Cakes, pastries. What are they buying? All that is marketing analytics. Finance analytics is about, let's say I want to give a loan. I'm a bank, I want to give a loan. I can calculate IRR, internal rate of return. I can create what's called an amortization sheet of repayment. Like, let's say personal loan, car loan, if you take, or a home loan, education loan, if you take, you need to have a repayment schedule. If you prepay, what would be the loss to the bank? Prepayment is before the tenor, you're closing the account, right? So all of that analytics can be done in finance. You could also do all the ratio analytics, right? We can do a current ratio, we can find a current ratio, a quick ratio, all of that just one line over, right? We can find a whole lot of ratios, right? That's part of finance. Operation Six Sigma, right? Let's say I'll give an example. Let's say a hospital like Apollo, right from a patient walking in, going to the help desk or to the receptionist, asking for filling a form to probably the receptionist suggesting a particular doctors recommending particular medicine, right? And then an admission, everything can be captured, which is part of operation, right? And then we have production. Let's say Hyundai or a Maruti Udyog, the entire production scheduling of what car, for a car, wiper to be manufactured, horns to be manufactured, everything can be analyzed, right? So this is how the entire funneling happens, and this is the ecosystem. So this is the first thing what we need to understand in data science or from a business analytics perspective. Okay, I was talking to you about defense analytics or military analytics. There's a company by name Palantir Technologies, and this company is based in USA, and this is almost probably a $3 billion, $4 billion company. I guess the person, you can recognize the person who is there. 1 minute. Akshay is asking a question. What about sports? We see so many analytics. Yeah, perfect. Akshay, cricket analytics gets in a big way, right? And in fact, you asked a very interesting question. Anil Kumble has got a company by name 10 Wick. I guess all of you know Anil Kumble, the person who took 10 wickets, right? The spinner, right? He got a company called 10 Wick. So what they do is they do sports analytics. They try to find which cricketer plays well against which kind of conditions, what kind of earnings they get. It's same thing for football, right? You have data sets right from Ronaldo to Rivaldo to Lionel Messi for the clubs, what they play, right? How many goals they've scored? Have they scored with the head or with the left foot, right foot? Entire data is analyzed, Akshaya. It's a big space, a big area for careers as such. Very interesting, especially with IPL, women IPL coming in, kabaddi leagues happening in this country in a big way. Lots of analytics gets in, just not on the players, but also on advertisements, right? Buying media. Let's say you buy media, right? I want to be in a prime time. I want to advertise in Star Plus, or I want to be in Z, right? Or I want to be in any of the channels, right? Sports channels. All that is analytics. Good question you asked, Akshaya. Okay, let's come back. The person who is there, any guesses? The person, the bearded person, any guesses by anybody? He was a terrorist. That's the clue I'm giving. Yeah, that's right. That's the Akshay. It's Osama bin Laden. That's right. Okay. So what this company does is Palantir Technologies. It's, as I said, it's a 4 billion, 5 billion revenue company. What they do is they do only two things. They do fraud analytics and defense analytics. So what they did is they found the exact collaterals in terms of where is this man hiding in Pakistan in a place called Abbottabad. They gave the exact locale to the Navy SEALs. And then the Navy SEALs go early in the morning and then finish him off. And that was how the building was. That's exactly how the building was after the Navy SEALs killed this person, Osama bin Laden. So this is defense analytics. And let me also share with you something very interesting what Palantir Technology does. You also have, they do what's called as fraud analytics. And this person who's there, Bernie Madoff, he's in the jail now. And what he is famous for is it's called Ponzi scheme. I just put up on a chat. You can go and search in a Google later. What is this Ponzi scheme? In US, they call it as a Ponzi scheme where you have multiple people lending to multiple people. So you really do not know where the money is coming, where the money is going. Right? And that was a big scam. It was almost a $64 billion scam. $64 billion scam. The courts were not able to prosecute, and ordinary ways of trying to find the source of this money, how the money transferred hands, all of that by normal means they were not able to find. And finally, this entire episode came into the hands of Palantir. They, within 15 days, they cracked the entire code of how exactly the money got transferred, right? And then they had some clinching evidences. They gave it to the FBI in USA and to the biggest courts in USA. And then today, this man is in the jail. They all did it in 15 days. This is called fraud analytics, right? So what I'm trying to tell you here is analytics is there everywhere. Defense, geophysics, business, retail, pharma. I'll give an example of pharma analytics. Let us say Ranbaxy. Ranbaxy wants to know which doctor is prescribing which drug for heart attack. It's called prescription analytics. Right? When you go meet a doctor, they give you a prescription. So they do an analytics also on that. Right? It's called prescription analytics. Thanks to tabs which is being used, a lot of devices which is being used. So a lot of data is being captured. So what do you do with the data? You go back, you analyze. Uber does the same thing. They analyze. Flipkart analyze. Amazon analyze. Zepto analyze. Based on that, they give you discounts, offers. They also send you mails, right? We have not seen you for a long time. Please do come back. Right? They also request you to come back. Right? So how do you know? How do you think they know that you have not been there for a long time? They're requesting you to come back. All of that again is data science for us. Okay. Have you seen this? I guess most of you would be big fans of ordering in Amazon and in Flipkart. And I also find a lot of my neighbors every day they need to get one package from Amazon or from Flipkart. They become shopaholics, complete shopaholics. Right? I guess many of you also would be doing this. Some interesting products, what you don't get in a store, very easy to order. But have you ever observed when you order something in Amazon or Flipkart, they also give you a lot of recommendation. For sure, there is nobody behind Flipkart or Amazon trying to work for and trying to give you this kind of recommendation. Automatically, the machine is doing this for you. This is what's called machine learning. This is what's called they're doing a prediction. Let's say Akshaya came in yesterday and then she purchased something of a new mobile phone of an Apple or a Samsung, right? But she has not yet decided. So I'll come back and say, I know Akshaya's profile. She lives in this area with this kind of income, this kind of lifestyle. So a lot of data is available today. So based on that, they give recommendations. And these are called recommendation engine. This is again part of analytics. So how does this recommendation happen? Let me take you through. Well, to make it simple, there's something called user-based filtering. I just gave you a simple example. Let's say you got three people, A, B, C. A purchases all the fruits. B purchases only strawberry. And C purchases strawberry as well as watermelon. So here A and C are similar kind of users. Right? A and C are almost similar kind of users. Right? So, but what has not C not bought? C has not bought grapes. So now we are suggesting to C buy grapes. That's all. This is user-based filtering. So next time when you're buying anything in Flipkart or Amazon, go back and observe. There's a recommendation that will come in the end, and that recommendation is because of data science, right? It's called recommendation engines. There's something called a market basket analysis. There's something called a recency frequency monitor analysis. All of these are part of it. We'll talk about that a little later. You could do this, or you could also do what's called item based filtering. So you have a user base, user people, and then we have item based. Let's say watermelon is purchased by all of them, all the three characters there, but grapes are purchased by children A and B, right? So in child C is being recommended only grapes. Okay, so now there's a very simple exercise. Okay, this is a very simple exercise. We talk of three customers, three products, four products. But in a real day, in a Flipkart or Amazon or in a Swiggy, Zomato, do you think only two, three people come like this? I'm just asking you this question. I want you to think. Is it just two, three customers who come? What would be the number? Okay, how many of you know what is called as a BBD? It comes sometime in October, November. Flipkart, Amazon, all run this. They have one-page advertisement in Times of India, Hindu. They'll send you emails. They'll send you messages. What is this BBD? People wait for this BBD sale. I just put it up on a chat. Yeah, exactly, Akshay. Big billion day sale. Okay, so now can you guess how many customers come on a big billion sale? Generally, they will keep it open for 8 days. It's called GVM, is about gross merchandise value. It's called gross merchandise values, GMV. So the gross merchandise values, how much of products are people buying? Right? Let's say I buy a laptop, I buy a mobile phone, I buy this, my wife buys something, my daughter buys something, my neighbor buys something, Akshaya buys something else, right? Like that, can you guess on those 8 days how much of sales would be happening? And how many customers would come? Here we are talking about what? Three customers, four fruits, right? And then we are just showcasing it in our PowerPoint. But in the real time, you know what happens? I'll throw some numbers for you of 2022 numbers. 5.5 billion in GMV sales in 8 days of festival season sale. 8 days. This is what India buys, right? And you people are so lucky that we are in an economy which is doing very well. USA is in deep trouble. You would have seen all the jobs where people are being sent home. It can be Tesla, it can be Twitter, it can be even Sundar Pichai, Google, send people home. Microsoft, Apple, all these companies are sending people home. Europe economy is very bad. Less spoken about Sri Lanka and Pakistan, almost in doldrums, almost dead. India is standing on, right? The future is India, that's for sure. And the governments are doing all the right things. And that's the reason when the world economies are struggling, we are holding on. And this is one good indicator. When people don't have money, people are losing jobs. 2022 in the month of October, November, only in Flipkart. Imagine what Amazon would have sold. Another 8 billion, right? Almost 20 billion sales in 2 days here. And what's the number of customers visited only Flipkart in 8 days? 1 billion. Imagine 1 billion. Right? And most of the 60% of customers came from tier 1, tier 3 cities. We think that all the customers come from Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Kochi, Hyderabad. But customers are coming from Tiruvannamalai, Velur, Kanchipuram, Sri Perumbudur, right? Rajapalayam, Sivakasi. I'm just giving you Tamil Nadu. Same is the story. Guntur, Vizag, Trishur, or Hubli. Or smaller cities like Davangiri or Tumkur. right? In Karnataka, like that, different parts of the country. This is where customers are coming in large numbers and buying. Okay, so what can be the problems? 1 billion customers, 8 days, 5.8 billion sales, or rather almost $6 billion in sales in the dollar value, not in rupee value, means you have to multiply with another 80 rupees. So 5.8 into 80 rupees in rupee terms, right? And that's the size of the market only for Flipkart, 8 days. So, what can be the nightmare for Flipkart? Product availability, shipping the product. Because they promised you that they'll be delivered in 3 days. Logistics is called last mile connect. How do you ensure the last mile connect happens where the products are delivered right into your home? And then most of the time, we're not happy, right? We send the products back, right? And that's another big process what Flipkart or Amazon has to get into. Right? They have to ship the product back, and then you need to have a replacement, or you need to have a cash facility, something else into the bank account. So many things has to happen. Along with that, marketing also has to happen, and not possible for a human being to do on an Excel spreadsheet or using paper and pencil statistics. This is where Python comes in, R Studio comes in, or SAS, IBM SAS comes in. Amazing products which are vibrant and robust. And all this data can be done in a fraction of a second. Analysis can be done. And they can find what the patterns are. Right? That's the power of analytics today. Okay. So now the question is, how does Flipkart, Amazon manage these HV stands for high value transaction. One, of course, is recommendation engine, what I took you through. And then there's something called market basket analysis. So market basket is, it's like your shopping cart. What all do you buy? Let's say you buy a lipstick, you buy a lip gloss, you buy a mascara, you buy a hair liner, or you buy a eyeliner. Right? I'm just giving all women products. Right? Okay, you buy all the products there. A skincare cream, right? So many products what you buy. So based on the market basket, you're predicting what else will this customer buy. You can do that. Or there's something called RFM, recency, frequency, monetary analysis. So when did a customer recently come? How frequently he comes? 2 times a day, 2 times a month, 2 times a year. Monetarily, how much he's buying? Is he a high value ticket buyer, or he just buys for 20 rupees, 50 rupees? Is he buying in 1,000 rupees? So all of this analysis is what the business analyst does. He looks at the recommendation system. They use artificial intelligence, AI. They use machine learning, right? And all of these are programmatic learning. So all these terms might look very, very, very difficult, but if you ask me, it's very simple, very easy, right? You can go and search in Google later. You'll get, if you're really interested, you'll get lot of insights. Okay, Netflix. I guess all of you are today, thanks to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Z, and what else you have? So many of them you have, right? You keep watching a lot of films. Even the latest film within 1 week comes in there. Have you ever seen they keep giving you recommendations? Netflix keeps giving you a recommendation, or Amazon Prime keeps giving you a recommendation. How do you think they keep giving this recommendation? Again, the concept is same. Again, machine learning or algorithm. And what Netflix comes back and says is the next film what you watch. This is what Netflix got as a finding. 80% of what members watch comes from our recommendation. So how do you think they're able to precisely recommend? Because they're forming what is called as a consumer prototype. Right? Let's say my prototype is, let's say I'm of this age, living in this part of Chennai, who's a professional trainer, or like this, like this, like this. What kind of films I watch? Right? Like that, they would be grouping all similar kind of people like me. Let's say another 50,000 people like me. What kind of films they are watching? You'll get a pattern. Based on that, they would give a recommendation. Very simple. This is how the recommendation system works. User one, user two, user three, the movie one, movie two, movie three, what you watch. And then for the user four, you give a recommendation. User three, you give a recommendation. So again, impossible to do by human calculation. Machine learning, artificial intelligence does this for us. Okay. So now the question, it goes us back to the question, what's the difference between a data analyst and a business analyst? Are they one and the same? Let's get a clarity on this so that you're clear once for all. So who's a data analyst? The name itself tells data is playing with data, right? So what a data analyst does is He gathers data, right? You do a research, market research, you have a research methodology, you have a questionnaire, you gather a lot of data, and then you find the data should be of good quality. Data quality means right kind of customers, answering all the questions, whole lot of things, and then you analyze the data, right? Use SPSS or use Excel. You can use R, Python, and then use a lot of statistical tools. You can use ANOVA, or you could use a K-mean clustering. Many tools are there, statistical tools. You analyze them, or you can use a decision tree, and then you interpret all the and predict. Right, if you're trying to find pattern. For example, Domino's Pizza on a Saturday evening. I got 20,000 people data for entire Chennai. So I'm quickly finding out that people are buying pizza cheese burst. Example, I'm giving an example. Pizza cheese burst. Lots of cheese is what people are preferring. Right? So based on this, I'm interpreting and predicting. So next Saturday, next Sunday, hopefully they'll come and buy. So that will help Domino's to produce more such pizza cheese burst pizzas. Right? And then you present the trends. And this is what a data analyst does. Whereas a business analyst, what he does is he tries to find what is the business need. Is the sales happening, not happening? Is the sales too much in a particular market? Right? I'll give an example of Maruti Udyog. For example, Maruti Udyog finds people are not buying Alto. Simple example, Alto K100, they're not buying. But they're buying Baleno in large numbers. Why are people buying Baleno? Or are people buying mini SUVs? Why is the sales for Magnite, Nissan Magnite going up? Or Triber going up? Are people shifting to Nissan or to other brands? Why are they not buying my Wagoner? That's a need identification, right? And then no, I need to do a lot of elicitation and collaboration. I need to talk with market research firms. I need to talk internally, externally. I need to do that. This is what a business analyst does. And then I try to find requirement communication. What all I need? I need this data. I need this tool. I have to get into this. I have to do this analysis. Quite a few things I do. I do this, and then I'll do a modeling. So modeling is about doing a prediction. You can do a predictive modeling. You'll have a test data, train data, quite a few things. You look at the decision tree, random forest, quite a few things are there what you use. And then finally you do a requirement management. Right? This is what a business analyst does. So typically in a day, what he does is brainstorm requirements, solution needs, work in cooperation with the project managers, gain an understanding of the business problem, processes, document it, right? So now you'd have got a difference between a data analyst and the business analyst. Data analyst plays only with data numbers. Business analyst gives a business understanding. Right? It gives a complete business understanding. Why are people buying, not buying? Which products are profitable? Which products are not profitable? Should I be selling it on a Saturday evening, Monday evening? All of that is a business analyst work. Right? Okay. So I'm just giving an example of what a job would be for a data analyst and business analyst in Flipkart. So what a business analyst would do is, okay, let's look at data analyst. So now let's look at what are the career options after business analytics course. What do you do? For example, if you come from a commerce background, if you do a chartered accountant course, you know what will happen once you join a corporate, right? Either you can be a practicing chartered accountant, where you'll do a lot of tax planning for individuals or for individual small companies, SMEs, small and medium enterprises, or you'll join a company, right? That's a career option. Or lawyer. If you do a BA, BL, what kind of things you can do? Either you can join a corporate, the law department, or you can be a practitioner by yourself in a small court, right? Magistrate court, or you can be in a Supreme Court, and then you end up being a magistrate and then a judge. That's a career path. That's a career option, career path and career option. And that's exactly what I'm trying to tell to all of you. What kind of career options you'll have. Let's say, for an example, in the bank, right? I was a banker. Let me give an example. What are the career options in the bank? If you have done a BCom BBA, or if you have done an MBA in finance, you'll join as a relationship manager. You'll join as a personal banker, right? From a relationship manager, you'll become a branch manager. And from a branch manager, you'll become a regional manager. From a regional manager, you'll become a country head. This is how the career path will look like. This is in a bank, right? So probably they might use different terms. State Bank of India might use different terms like AGM, DGM, right? Those are roles. But the career, what you go is about what you'd really be doing. So same thing is here for analytics. What kind of a career you would be getting into? You would join as an associate. That's the first place. Or you'll join as a management trainee. right? And then you'll become a consultant. A consultant role is you'll have a lot of business knowledge. Let's say Akshay was talking about sports. She must be an expert in sports. She must know about cricket, football, kabaddi, what is happening, who are the best players, who are the players who are retiring, right? Who are the players who are scoring big runs across the globe, which are the top agencies who are they're part of, which are the channels which are advertising cricket in a big way. So this is the role of a consultant. Because a data analyst is somebody like what I said earlier on numbers. Because a business analyst is somebody who focuses on the profitability of the business, market shares of the business, growth rate of business, right? Monday, Friday, sale, increase sale, prime time, all that is what a business analyst does. A program analyst, okay, they come from more from a technical background, right? They're good in Python, right? They're good in IT related, computer science related. These people are program analysts. And then you got a management analyst, right? So management analyst and business analyst are almost similar. And then operation analysts are the people who take care of the back end processes. And then you got the statistician, a typical statistician, only numbers. And then you have a chief data officer, chief technical officer, technology officer, CTO, what they call. Right? And then you got a research analyst, process analyst, project manager. See, what a project manager does is very interesting. They don't get in more into this analytics. So they manage teams. So what happens is if you put in some 7, 9 years experience, you end up being a project manager. You'll have around 15 analysts under you, associates under you. You guide them, you ensure the project happens, you're delivering to the customers on time. Any customer problems, you're taking it back to your core team, you're solving it. So it's more about group dynamics. It's all about people management. That's a project manager, right? So analytics companies also have project managers, but you need to have relevant experience with 7, 10 years experience being a consultant or being a data analyst or business analyst. You get into management role, right? So you don't do the dirty work of playing with Python, statistics, none of that. And whenever the teams have doubts, they'll come and clarify to you. The same project manager as a concept, TCS, Infosys, Mindtree, Tech Mahindra, all of them also have. Right? It can be in testing, it can be in developer, it can be in business development. Right? In any areas, you'll also have similar project managers, same, nothing different at all. So this is called as a transaction role and then an analysis role. Two kinds of role, what you can look at. So now the question is, which industry can you work with a BA degree? This is one basic question we need to find an answer, right? And most obvious that most of top-notch companies do this analysis. For example, Hyundai, Amazon, Uber. Let's say Hyundai, right? They got a company by name Kia. Kia is this now, right? So they want to find Kia is selling in which markets. Are the people buying high-end versions? You got a LXI, ZXI, VXI. That which cars are what people buying? Are they buying in tier one city, tier two city? Right? Same thing with Amazon, Uber. All companies need. LG needs it, Samsung needs it, HDFC Bank needs it. All of them do. And then you got research companies like Nielsen's. Bureau is a US company, or Kantar is an Indian company. They do tremendous amount of research. And for that, you need to know analytics. And then you got business analysis firms themselves, Gain Insight, Tiger. These two are Indian Chennai companies. So Gain Insight does a lot of data visualization. And Tiger Analytics does a lot of, these guys are there in Ramanujam City in Tech Park in Chennai, right? And these guys are Tiger Analytics and amazing work they do and top-notch analytics work they do. And then you got a lot of consultancy firms, all kinds, all types, all sizes. Hundreds of them are there in Chennai itself. So these are some companies in Chennai, right? Tiger Analytics, Crayon Data, Data Team, Virtusa, Convergent, Maxwell, Texify, Gain Insight, Data Brain, Medridash, Action Board, Gaming Analytics. Some big names are there. They do some decent job, lots of job opportunities here. And then you got IT majors, TCS, Infosys, Mindtree, Tech Mahindra, all of them do analytics. Kevin Care, I'm not too sure how many of you know Kevin Care. They are the people who make Mira shampoo. You would have seen Mira shampoo advertisements, especially during Deepavali. On a Deepavali day, earlier morning, they'll be advertising Shikakai shampoo. Kevin Care is the maker of that. Right? They also got a lot of other products, what they make. They need analytics. It's Chennai-based company. It's almost a 600, 700 crore company. They know they want proper analytics. Again, retail segments, who's selling maximum? Is it Big Bazaar selling maximum? Or is it the Kirana store, the local Kirana store selling maximum? So entire analysis Kevin can needs. Then you got the BFSI, Standard Chartered, ANZ, Greenlace, HSBC. All of them are there in Chennai. Right? And then they have tremendous recruitment opportunities they keep doing from time to time. So The market is big. You can decide if you got a BCom, BBA, or technical skills. We can go. Generally, TCS, Infosys, Mindtree, they would prefer students with a BCA, MCA background or with a BE engineering in computer science or IT background. Because ideally, you need to have a computer background. That's the only reason as such. Okay. So what is the career path? So these are typically the career path works. You join as a business analyst, associate trainee, entry level, and then you end up being a project manager. This is a transaction role. Or you end up being a business consultant, advisory role where you talk to customers telling that let's not do this, let's do this, this will work, this will not work. So project manager is more about driving your internal team, all the business analysts, associate trainees, that all these fellows you're going to train them and then put them onto the project. That's a project manager role. Because the business consultant role is very rich. You should know the industry. You should know retail industry. You should know how people are buying groceries, how people are buying food products, how people are dining and how they are eating out. That's our advisory role. And then with a few years experience, you end up being a vice president, BA practice. It's called business analytics practice. Those are typical career path, right? And as I said, salary levels. Let me tell you some salary levels for a vice president for BA practice. He gets around 1.5 to 2 crores per annum. Would you guys believe? 1.5 to 2 crores per annum is what a vice president gets today. Whereas a business consultant easily gets around 20 to 30 lakhs. Easy 20 to 30 lakhs in top companies. So this is the kind of opportunity that's available today, right? And huge, huge opportunities around. So now the question is, we just saw the landscape, we just saw the trends, we just saw. I also made you get into an exercise, trying to go and find Flipkart number of jobs available. So that, no, you got a feel, right? Most of the time, no, only when we see with our own eyes, we start believing, and that's exactly the task what I did for each of you. And I want you to don't leave this here. I want you to go and carry forward the same exercise after the session in the afternoon, evening. Go back and find for yourself because self learning is the best rather than being spoon fed, right? You're owning your life, you're owning your career. That's the first stepping stone for success. Yaksha has put up something. They have a variety of products. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. So, how to become a business analyst? First and foremost, take up a course on business analytics because it is slightly complex. It's not theory. Please remember that. Theory is storytelling. One day before the exam, you can read and still get top CGPS. And our Indian education system and our deemed universities are really good at that. But analytics is something where we need to practice every day. Right? Every day we need to sincerely practice because it's like an ocean, completely like an ocean. Right. And then best is IIKM also has got a program on analytics. They got an MBA program. Right. You could look at that, or they also provide a lot of short-term programs. Some of them are really good. You could look at those programs. Right. Then you can gain relevant work experience where you can do a lot of small projects. You got most of these startups keep giving a lot of projects. You can focus on this area of analytics alone. These are the different ways how you can strengthen, and then you start working on business analytics tools, R, Python, Power BI. Today, you got a lot of YouTube videos where you can start working on, right? And then you can also get into formal classroom, right? And then you could also get into data visualization and practice presenting them like Power BI, Tableau. All of these are free tools available. And then a YouTube video itself, initial days will take us through. And finally, what is important is you also need to create a portfolio of yourself on GitHub. I'll just tell you what this GitHub is about, and I'll give you an example of how people today create their own profiles. I want you to go into by name Paula Jordan, her profile on GitHub. Use your mobile phone, use your laptops, and try to find. This is. I'll just put this up. I'll just put this up. I'll just put up the URL on the chat. You can do a cut paste. Just put it up on the chat. And you search in your mobile phone or in your device, any other device, what you have. And I want you to find what exactly this GitHub profile is. So there are many things we need to do in analytics as a career before you take a plunge. It looks attractive. We got a lot of opportunities. Money is good. A lot of things are positive. But from our side, we need to break our thought process and mindsets. We can't go with a typical college kind of one day before the exam I read. No way. Right? Today, they do what's called as a Google search about you. Like we do a Google search about institute, products, offers, everything like that. Google also does what's called Google Trail. HR is doing this today. Called Google Trail. The trail, I've just put it up on the chat. A Google Trail is what are you? If I go and search about you, let's say if I search Akshaya Ganesh Ram on a Google, what will I find about her? What's her social media looking like? What's her LinkedIn profile looking like? What's her Facebook profile looking like? What kind of pictures she's putting up there? Right? Instagram, what kind of posting she's doing? So many things. You become an open book to read. Right? Your personalities are completely opened up there. Same thing. If you have to get into analytics, you need to create a profile in GitHub, and then all your projects, whatever you do, can be very small one, that's okay, but you need to create a strong profile of yourself in GitHub. So I just put it up on a chat. You need to do some of these things are very essential if you have to get a good job for yourself, right? So please remember all these things. Just take a 2 minutes on this and then try to find for yourself, and I want somebody to respond what exactly is being put up there. Can you put up on the chat? So what did you really find? You'll have a lot of Indians, hundreds and thousands of Indians in data analytics, business analytics. They got their own profile. This is a very interesting profile. I want you to go and search. Anybody on the chat? Can you quickly put up what did you find in this GitHub profile? So this is a Google Trail. If you're going to put up a profile of yourself, when headhunters come, it'll be easy for them to find you or track you down. That's the purpose. Okay. So now let's look at, okay. Yeah, thanks, Akshaya. She talks about her profile, about her portfolio, about her projects, what she has done. Amazing, right? The same kind of stuff is what we need to do if you want something of a launch pad. This is a launch pad, a stepping stone. Right? So these are simple things what we need to keep in mind. Okay. So now let's ask this question: is analytics future career opportunity? Because let me give an example. Let's say 5 years back, all said biotechnology, 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 and they found a lot of students joining biotechnology courses. But today, most of them struggle to get a job. There's something called a fad. Is business analytics also a fad? For me, the answer is a big no. Right? Because I believe in numbers again, and there are some clear pointers. This is the analytics market size. Right. This is the numbers in terms of business written up by all the companies. The list what I put up: HSBC, Tech Mahindra, Tiger Analytics, all of these companies. What they put up in $1 billion in 2023, it's $67 billion. That's the size of the market. Right. Whereas in 2024, it's expected it's almost going to touch $100 billion by 2025. So if it's going to be $100 billion industry in next 2 years, by the time you graduate, and if you're job ready, that's the icing on the cake. You'll be ready to take a plunge. And you can't have much better validation than this, right? And these are very authentic numbers. And 2023 number, and if you look at 2022, it was almost on 47, 48 billion. And these numbers also comes from NASSCOM. NASSCOM also talks about similar kind of numbers. By 2025, we use the word called practice. Business analytics practice is going to be $100 billion industry. And just imagine number of people you want to have, the kind of job opportunities you're going to present by itself. So the next big revolution is going to be analytics. There's no two words on that at all. Very decisive. On the other side, you might be wondering, this is again Analytics India magazine. This is in 2021-22. They were talking about where do you get, who's using analytics in a big way? Of course, BFSI, banking, financial service, insurance, engineering and manufacturing. So BFS is almost on 36, 38%, 38%. Engineering is around 18, 19%. Retail e-commerce like Amazon, Flipkart, Dunzo, Uber, Ola, all of them is almost around 24%, right? And then others all follow. Travel and transport is the lowest, right? So if you're looking at where I can make a career, that's the reason why I keep telling BCom, BBA with an MBA is the best fit, right, to do a course in analytics for simple reason that the industries are very close to you. Just think for a moment, now, where is biotechnology? I just put this question to all of you. So biotechnology is not there at all. So analytics and biotechnology doesn't go well at all. Right? You might have small numbers, let's say companies like Bangalore-based few companies in biotechnology, but still have a presence, but not to such a great extent. Right? So this is the part one of my presentation. So I just gave a complete lowdown in terms of markets, industry, size, jobs, kind of opportunities. I went and made you search Flipkart, number of jobs available. But take this initiative forward. I want also to go and search whenever you're free, late in the evening. These are called trends. Right? Remember this word called trends. I'm just putting it up in capital letters in the chat. These are called trends. At any point of time, you should know what are the trends that's happening in the market. Okay, so now let's get to the second part. Here we're going to spend what is data analytics. I just will spend 15, 20 minutes. It's not going to be very heavy because I know, okay, most of you are freshers and I don't want you to put too much of heavy stuff into this. So majorly I'm going to look at what is data analytics, what is big data. So everybody's talking about big data, big data, big data. What exactly does big data means? How do we use this data analytics? What are the steps involved? And how do you apply this? And then we look at a Walmart TCS case study. And the last 10 minutes, I'll give you a small demo using R Studio, how we can do business analytics. So this is what the next 15, 20 minutes of presentation is going to be like. Okay, right. Big data. Can anybody guess what is big data? All are using this word big data, big data, big data. Can anybody guess what is big data? Forget whether it's right or wrong. Just put it up on the chat. It's no, it's about being expressive, being articulate. Right? Once you get into the corporate, you're supposed to talk. You'll be talking with your team members, you'll be talking with your customers, you'll be talking with external agencies. And you can't be somebody quiet and to yourself. Forget whether it's right or wrong. It's about communicating. Very, very important. So, what is big data? Can anybody guess? You can also do a Google search and put up the answer. What stops you? And that's what smart people are today. And you can always do a quick Google search. What is big data? Okay. So before we understand what big data is, data is a variety of diversity and have heavy volume. Perfect, Akshaya. Yeah, perfect. Heavy volumes. That's exact. How heavy the volume is what we're going to focus on. Right? Okay. Thanks, Akshaya, to be so proactive throughout the session. Amazing. That's a great trait to have. Okay, now let's come back. So when we talk about, when Akshaya is talking about diverse and heavy volume of data, this data gets into a byte. We talk of a GB, mobile phone, we talk of a GB, MB, we talk about MB, GB. These are terms what we all of us know. In a laptop, we use MB, GB, 3 GB, 5 GB, 18 GB, 60 GB RAM, all that we talk. Okay. A GB is made up about, in a GB, we have a byte. A byte is a unit of data. That's the storage capacity. Represent a single character, single letter. Let's say Akshaya. Akshaya is one word, Ganesh Ram is another word. So two words becomes a unit, right? Like that, if you have multiple units coming together, each of these are bytes, and then it becomes something called as a GB, MB, TB, ZB, zotabyte. One followed by how many zeros will stun you? Let me take you through this. Megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte. We are still in a giga and terabyte. There's something called a yottabyte, zettabyte. You know what all these are? One followed by how many number of zeros? Look at yottabyte. Exabyte itself is the distance between Earth and the Moon in kilometers or mass. Right? That's a petabyte. Sorry, that's the distance between Earth and the Moon. Right? And Mars. I'm just giving an example to make you understand the distance in kilometers, how we can put it up. So when we talk about MB, when we talk about 5 MB, 60 MB means 60 MB means 60 lakh bytes or 6 crore bytes. Right? And I'm not able to get the numbers at all. Look at the zeros. It's mind boggling. This is big data. If somebody asks what big data is expressing it in terms of bytes. From a mega to giga, you're moving in into peta, exa, zeta, iota bytes. Okay, now the question is, how do you store them? Thanks to cloud, servers, all of this data gets stored. But the problem is, most of the companies have this data. They do not know what to do with the data. That's the biggest problem. Let me give you some examples. Typically, on a day, what kind of data is generated by us or by the companies? Let me give you some examples. Look at this. Ah, one flight, right, from New York to London generates 10 terabyte of information. One single flight. One single flight. Number of likes on a Facebook each day is 3.2 billion. That's a big data. Right? Shares traded in US stock markets, it can be NYSE, it can be NASDAQ, 7 billion. That is big data. Now you would have got, when Akshaya puts it up, the data that have variety of diversity and heavy volumes, this is exactly what she meant. This is big data. But the best thing is, all of this data we have generated in the last 10, 15 years. Before the revolution that is happening in IT, technology, computing, right, and capturing of that data, all of this happened in the last 15 years. And today, companies are sitting up on piles and piles and piles of data, really do not know what to do with this data. And that's where analytics comes in. Hopefully, you'd have got a clarity of what is big data, right? Okay. So, what is data analytics then? It's like five blind men trying to size up what an elephant looks like. Right? So some would come back and say that, oh yeah, it's a fan, must be a social media, must be big data, must be predictive analytics, must be marketing automation, must be Google Analytics. So which is right, which is wrong? Everything is right. So when you use all of the tools, all of the mechanisms, a whole lot of variance in this, all of this is part of data analytics. Analyzing social media, looking at big data, doing some prediction, doing some marketing automation. So what is this marketing automation? The example what I gave, Netflix gives you recommendation, that is marketing automation. Flipkart, Amazon giving you recommendation, that is marketing automation. There's no human being who is sitting behind a computer or a laptop and giving you recommendation. This is marketing automation, right? And then Google Analytics, everything comes into data analytics. So what is data analytics? Use of data, information technology, statistical analysis, quantitative methods, mathematical or computer based models. All of this you use to gain improved insight so that you can take better decision. Right? So key word is taking better decision. Right? I might be running a small retail shop, yeah, which is selling all products which is about rice and dough, Pillsbury dough and Annapurna atta and salt and sugar. I might be running a small shop, a departmental store, right? I have a lot of data. You're giving, what happens when you go into the store after you bill? I ask for your mobile phone number. I'm going to give you a bill. I'm capturing so much of data. So from a mobile phone, I know who you are, right? I can find everything about you as a person. And in the store behavior, what you're buying, I also have all the data about you, right? But what do I do with the data there? I use IT, I use statistics, I do some modeling, I look at some recommendation, marketing automation, and then I take better decisions. That's all. This is data analytics, the most simplest form. So how do we use data analytics? Right, as I said, improved decision making, better customer service. Right, you'd have found a lot of loyalty programs. How many times have you seen Reliance Trends? When you go into Reliance Trends, when you buy something, they give you an offer. So they tell you next time when you come and buy from us, we'll give you 20% off, 30% off, minimum budget 1,999 rupees, 20% off. We also go there, right? These are called loyalty programs. This is how data analytics comes in handy. They know who are the customers who are buying in large quantities, who come frequently. So let's also reward them, right? And then you look at efficient operations, effective marketing, Whole lot of things is what data analytics is used for. Let's look at data analytics application. Let's look at Walmart case study. I'm not too sure how many of you know Walmart, and Walmart is the world's largest company, right, in terms of revenue. Let me give you some numbers. 573 billion was the revenue of the company in 2022 or 23, right? Revenue. No company comes nearer to revenue. So what is revenue? Revenue is the number of units what they sell at what price. That's a revenue. Revenue is an income, right? Let's say I'm running a pani puri shop. Every day I'm selling 100 pani puri at 10 rupees. So what is my revenue? 100 pani puris at 10 rupees. What's my revenue? 100 pani puri plates at 10 rupees. What's my revenue? 1000. That's right, Akshay. 1000. You're right. Like that, Walmart is in Bentonville in Arkansas in USA. That's right, Sri Shakti. That's right, Sri Shakti. Yeah, 1000. Right. Okay. So what Walmart does is they all are like our big bazaar, right? But they are 100 times, 1000 times bigger. They are situated in a place called Bentonville in Arkansas. The revenue what they generate every year is around 570 billion US dollar. Right. That's very simple. They do it in style, but that's not the challenge for Walmart. Challenges are manifold. They got 11,500 stores in 27 countries. They got 10 websites across. In fact, they've taken over Amazon. They got a stake in Amazon. More than 7 lakh associates who supply a lot of. They come to Tirupur, right? I know many of you know what Tirupur is. Tirupur makes a lot of innerwear, hosiery, T-shirt, bunions, all of that. Hosur is sorry, not Hosur. Tirupur, sorry, Tirupur. Tirupur. They come to Tirupur. Walmart comes to Tirupur, right? And they are called merchandisers. You got a set of merchandisers who come to Tirupur from Bangalore, they buy products and then they export it or send it to USA or to any of the stores. These people are called, they have got 7 lakh associates, let's say 100 plus associates in Tirupur, like that China, Bangladesh, right? 100 million customers every week. Imagine this is what it is, a Walmart. 4 billion data generated. You need to, the number of transactions is 4 billion every year. And then you got 11,500 stores. SKUs are stock keeping. They have 1 lakh plus different kind of products, like shampoo, soap, detergent, cosmetics, like that, 1 lakh plus products. All of this is what they need to analyze. How do you think they can analyze? Okay, let me give you one simple example. Today, when you're getting into Walmart, we search many things on the website. If there is a drag of 4 seconds, you know how much fall in sales that happen. All of this is part of Google Analytics, right? Let's say even there's a generally, when you go and search in Google, within a few seconds or 1 second, you'll have the entire data. I'm searching for Walmart, it comes in 1 second. But if there's a drag in 4 seconds, you know how much the sales falls? Walmart did some study. You know what they found? When the load time jumps from 1 second to 4 second, conversions decline sharply. And for 1 second of improvement, they experience up to a 2% conversion increase. We're talking about what? Seconds. And what are we talking of? Loading time. What is a loading time? Loading time, all of you know what a loading time is. When I'm going and searching for Walmart in Google, within 1 second, if I'm going to get my Walmart website, my sales numbers goes up many times. But it is a fall. And every 1 second loss, there's a fall of 2% conversion, right? And vice versa. And that's what this chart tells us. So simple, I'm just giving you a very simple one, a simple website, how much it has to be working on dot every time, right? And this is Google Analytics, right? Let's give another example. Let's say TCS. This is more from a business strategy. We look at from a TCS HR case study, right? HR is about people. Last count, they almost have 5 lakh employees, 4.85 lakh employees, number of locations in 26 locations across the globe. Of course, after Chennai, Pune is one of the biggest locations. Of course, they're there in Madurai, they're there in so many other places. They're in USA, Singapore, a lot of places, but very small numbers. And they're in 11 service line, BFSI, retail, insurance, analytics practices like that. They got many of them. I want to find out who are my employees or top performers, what kind of bonus I should give, Should I promote them? Should I move them from one region to another region, from one vertical to another vertical, from BFSI, from Bank of America vertical to another one? Right? How do I take such decisions? It has to be very subjective. Sorry, it should not be subjective. It has to be very objective, and the results have to be quantified. Because end of the day, you need to be very fair to your employees. Very, very, very fair to your employees. Very transparent, very fair, very open. How do you do that? Very simple. Very, very, very simple. How do you do that? Analytics comes in. And analytics straight comes in and then takes you through, right? It does a lot of analysis and then it tells us what is right, what is wrong. How do we do it? What should we be avoiding? And all of those decisions can be taken in a minute. So it can be a $573 billion company like Walmart, or it can be like HR practices in TCS, or it can be like examples what I gave, like Flipkart, recommendation engine, or Netflix. Something like analytics has put his hands everywhere. You know what's the mantra today as part of management? If you're not able to measure, you cannot manage. Simple as that. If you're not able to measure, you cannot manage. So everything is measured, right? I'm measuring total number of customers coming into my store, total number of customers not coming back to me. Is my loyalty program working or not? Okay, try this out. Google Pay. I guess many of you use a Google Pay. Many of you will be using Google Pay, Paytm. They keep giving you rewards. How many times do you use the rewards? Sometimes they give you ₹5 off on your next time you use a Google Pay, or they come back and give another offer telling that you have a free haircut, or for boats they'll give you a 20% discount, right? Or in a pizza or in a McDonald's they give you a 20% discount. And they keep giving you a lot of offers. Google Pay keeps giving you a lot of offers. I want what is the data analytics problem you can find here? I want you to think. I'll put it up also on the chat. Some food for thought. Google Pay. You are the user. The user, you're transferring money. This is what you do to somebody, right? To your friends or to most of the time. No, we also don't use cash today. We don't use credit cards, right? So we go to the store, we scan. We use the QR scan, and then no, we pay the money. Money transfer happens. Okay. So the only one small problem. Let me give you one small problem or one small issue. They give a lot of reward programs as part of CRM, right? It's part of customer relationship management. CRM is customer relationship management. Okay? They give you a lot of rewards, part of loyalty CRM. So they want loyal customers. They give you a lot of things. They say ₹5 off next time. They give you that. ₹5 off next transaction, next transaction, or they'll come back and say boat what do you call ear pads, or you ear pads, or what do you call earbuds, one of the whatever they boat, right? 20% off, right? Or McDonald 10% off when you order online, right? So they give you these offers. Now the question is, how would you use analytics? How would Google Pay use analytics? Can somebody give a response? Sri Shakti or Akshaya, anyone? I want others also to contribute. Don't worry, there's nothing like right or wrong. I want to find a business analytics problem. What could that business analytics problem be? They're giving you simple offers. Okay, that's right. Based on the previous purchases done in the account. Okay, fine. Beyond that, Akshaya, try a little. You're there, but some more, some more. You're right. You're partly right. But what is the business problem you can solve using analytics? That's the question. One classic business problem you can solve. Okay, they're inter-recommended, Swiggy, Amazon. Okay, but one basic question that can be asked. They're giving me a lot of offers, but one basic question I need to ask. So many times what happens is, right, I'm not even interested in looking at all the offers what they give. Right? Unless otherwise they give me a 5 rupees cash back, 10 rupees cash back, or 20 rupees cash back. Or when I do a mobile recharge next time, they give me at 5 to 50 rupees off. All of the things I don't find it useful at all because there's no need for me. Right? So I need to go and tell Google Pay, go and find which are the loyalty programs customers really liking. So the customer is the reflection board. It's like a mirror. Right? If a customer is not liking, what is the point giving all those reward point programs? Right? I'll not be loyal. I'll look at a Paytm or I'll look at some other UPIs. Right? These people are called UPIs, where I can do a money transfer. Right? The reason is loyalty, customer relationship management. That's exactly what they're trying to do. But again, if it's not finding any sense to the customer, it's waste of time efforts. Right? They could still scrap it off. They need not have such a program, right? So what I could do is do analytics in terms of what kind of customers are using what kind of reward program. Simple. Understood? So this is the most effective program I can go after. I can find a solution there. So these are different ways of how you can get it into play. Right? I just gave an example of Google Play. Okay. So now, before I get into a little bit of theory, let me give you a kind of demonstration. Right? I'll give a quick demonstration, and I'm going to take you through R Studio. I want you to quickly observe, quietly observe how this R Studio looks like, and what I can do with this. Right? I'll just give you some quick demonstrations. Right? You can do the same thing in Python also. So I'll stop sharing this, and then I'll share my screen with the R Studio, what I have. Yeah. So what you find now is called as the R Studio. Right? Let me give you a small demonstration. Right? This is how the R Studio will look like. And so what I'll do is I'll just clean up all the earlier work, what I did. I can remove all this. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just close all the old work. So some earlier work, what I did, still there. Let me remove. Okay, fine. Now it's clear. Okay. So this is something like you can use it like Excel. Okay. What I do is I go to File. I'm creating a new file. R script. I'll have 4 quadrants. Right. Is it visible for all of you? Clear? Is the R Studio? I guess it's visible. Yeah. Okay. So I got 4 quadrants. So we'll go on anti-clockwise. We'll call this 1 minute. Okay. So let me give a demo. I can use it as a simple calculator. Let's say 2 plus 2. So 2 plus 2, I run. I'll get answer 4. Okay. Look at the quadrant where I'm entering. Let's say 50 into 50. Run. 250, 2500. Right. I can also find a square root. Square root of 625. Answer is 25. 25 is the answer. Right? I can do a simple multiplication, addition, whole lot of things we can do here. Right? Okay. And multiple things can be done here. Right? I can also create strings, vector, matrix. So multiple things can be done. Okay. But the best thing about R is R has got a lot of inbuilt data set. You need not go search for such inbuilt data set. I'm going to give you a demonstration of a data set by name empty cars. I'm going to pull this data set out from the R studio, empty cars. Right? The data set name is empty cars. Okay, so I'm going to go pull this data set. This is the data set. Right? This is a data set what I've got here. Look at in the third quadrant, I've got this entire data set which is populated here. It's all about cars. Okay, it's all about world's best cars. So if I want to find what is this data set about, I can use what's called help empty cars, help. Right? Or I can also use a simple question mark empty cars. See how easy it is. Just a simple question mark empty cars. Yeah. So okay. I don't need a. Yeah. So look at it here. I've got everything about this data set. It tells me about motor trend, car road test. The data was extracted from 1974 Motor Trend US magazine, compares the fuel consumption, 10 aspects of automobile design and performance, right? And then it tells me that this is what the data set is about. It tells me that if I scroll down, it tells me that it has got MPGs, miles per gallon, CYL is cylinder, displacement, weight of the car, engine, transmission, automatic transmission, manual transmission, everything I have about this data set. Okay. So what I can do now is, so now let me get this data set where I can easily read. So now I'm searching for this empty cars data set. Very easy. Right. I'm just clicking on this here. Okay, and now I've got the entire data set here. So what's the advantage? I can have a look at the data set in one snapshot. Okay, when I'm looking at in this quadrant, it's very difficult, but here it's very easy to look at the data set. I just expanded and then this is a data set, right? So MPG, miles per gallon, cylinder, let's say a car like Duster, miles per gallon is giving 14.3 miles per gallon, like what we use as petrol. How do we measure petrol in India? Liters. In USA, it's miles per gallon. For every gallon gives 14.3. It got 8-cylinder. Displacement is 36. 36, that's technical. Right. Weight of the car is 3.57 lbs. Right. We use kilogram. It's lbs. Right. And then gear is automatic. AM is zero. Right. Automatic transmission, gear, carburetor. A lot of technical details are here. Okay. So this is my data set. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll go back to the working studio. I'll go back here. I want to find what is the size of the data set. So what do? I just try to do DIM empty cars. See, R gives me prompt. I pick that prompt. So what it tells, I got 32 rows across 11 columns. This is what the dimension is. I use what's called dimension, DIM. See, this is available here. You're able to see the dimension. I just use DIM dimension. It tells me there are 32 rows across 11 columns. This is my dimension. I want to find I want to find what are the column names. See, what do I get? MPG, cylinder, displacement. Now go back. Now just go back. Let me showcase here. Just look at this here. MPG, cylinder, displacement. Right, a whole lot of HP, DRAT, QSEC, all these things. I'm able to get it here. I'm getting as names. So now this is my call names. I want to get row names. See how easy it is. Row dot names. The data set name is empty cars. I'll get a prompt. Go with the prompt. It gives me row name. It gives me all the car names. Okay, all the car brand names. Like what we saw: Duster, Honda Civic, Mazda, Datsun, Hornet, everything it gives me. If I want to find some statistic numbers, I can do what is called as summary. It will give me mean, median, mode, all that I can get. Summary, empty cars. See how easy it is. You'll just start liking it. I just do summary. It tells me what? For each of the columns, it tells me, let's say I look at miles per gallon. It tells me minimum is 10.4. Some car is giving 10.4. One car is giving 33 miles per gallon. Very high. Right? The mean is the average value 20. Median is the central value 19.2. And then the quadrant is the bell curve. The first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant. I also have some numbers here. Same thing for weight. Minimum weight of the car is 1.5 lbs or pounds, or it should be lbs, but the maximum weight is 5.4. Like that, for each of the variables, I can get a lot of data here. Right? So I did a dimension, I did a row, I did a row dot names, I did a summary. Right? And along with that, I could also do something of a structure. I want to find what is the structure of this data set. Structure of empty cars. It tells me it is a data frame. Right? It tells me it's a data frame, 32 observation of 11 variables. And all of these are numeric, numeric, numeric. Right? So this is one of the starting basics of how you're trying to find a size up or getting a sense of what is the data set is about. Okay? Let me do one simple visualization for you to understand. Let's do with this visualization. There are a lot of packages. Let me get one package which is freely available. It's called Plot. I just need to go to packages. I'm just giving a demonstration. CORR, right? It tells me this is the package what I need to use. This is for visualization. See how much I can do a visualization so easy. Let me give a demonstration for you. Let us say Plot. I'm using this function Plot. Empty cars. Method equal to, let's give it a circle. I'm just running it. Okay, fine. Before that, I need to do something else. So let me do something. Let's assign and call m is equal to, or we have to find a correlation, and then we have to do this. Right, empty cars, and then I'm calling it with m. It's called assigning and calling. So this entire data set of empty cars is hidden in m. This is what I did. Right, so I got it here. I've got a correlation. You know a little bit of statistics, you'll know what this correlation is. So now let's do a small visualization. Yeah, look at it. So this is a correlation. I see how easy I got a data visualization. I can expand it. Able to see? This is a correlation. So what a correlation tells is how much are two variables directly strongly related. The dark blue tells it's highly related. Red says it's not related. If the blue becomes lighter, the relationship level also gets light, becomes weaker. So for example, cylinder and displacement is strongly correlated. Right? So okay, now I can change all of this in a fraction of a second. I can change all of this. So now I've got something as a circle. So now what I can do is I can change this from a circle to a pie. It will become a beautiful representation. I don't want a circle. I want to showcase it as a pie. This is a pie. This is a pie. Let me zoom and show it to you. This is a pie. Right? From a pie, I can also demonstrate something of a color. I just see how easy it is. I'm just changing only the circle inside here. Oh, okay. I'm just changing it to color. See what you get. I can also get numbers. COLOU. Just what is COLOR? Okay. Fine. That's an American spelling. Color. I run it. This is the color. Let me zoom and show it to you. See how beautiful it is. This is data visualization. The same data set, what I showed you, empty cars, I'm trying to find a correlation, right? And then I'm using different colors. I can do this here, or I can also show number, right? For me, this color circle, I'm not able to understand, right? Let me also get this captured through number, number. Run it, zoom it, I'll have all the numbers, right? So please remember, 1 and 1 is highly correlated. That will come only for the same variable. For example, look at MPG 1 1, HP 1 1. So that doesn't make sense for us, right? If you look at the best number can be which one? Is 0.8. Vs and displacement is 0.8. That's a good number. Or 0.78, 0.89, 0.85. So all are highly correlated. So all of this needs a little bit of statistics, right? So purpose is not to probably put you too much into statistics and a lot of things. I'm just trying to give you a kind of a bird's eye view, right? What are we talking of? Let me ask you this question. Where is coding in this? Is there a coding? Anywhere do you find the coding? Just a single liner. Just a single liner over. Right? And see how versatile. I can't do all this in Excel. Right? And Python, I can do the same thing in Python also. Right? See what all I was able to do. I was able to find how big the data set is, what is the structure of the data set, right? And then this is something called exploratory data analysis. You're just trying to find EDA, what it is, how it is. I can do a pie chart, I can do this, I can do that. So multiple things I do. And then I'm getting into statistics. And then I can do also what is called as, I can do a prediction using what's called as linear regression. Let me do one simple prediction, very simple prediction. Okay, let's assign and call and then do a prediction. What should be the weight of car to get what kind of mileage? This is what I'm going to give you as a kind of a demo. Let me assign and call. Fit. I'm just give any name. I can give any name. I can also give a name Ganesh Ram, Akshaya, AKS or Sri Hari, any name, whoever is here. I can give any name. I'm just giving a random name like Fit. I'm using linear regression, right? Linear regression for MPG. Then I'm using what's called as tilde for weight for my dataset name empty cars. As I've assigned it with fit, like what I did M, I'm just assigning and calling. And I'll get my linear regression done, right? Okay. This is my linear regression. If you've done this in your statistics course somewhere, you'll understand what linear regression is. Okay. So now, what does my linear regression tells? 27.28 minus 5.344. Okay. So now there's something called the intercept value and weight of the car. So now we can create an equation with this. Let me show how this equation works and how we'll do a prediction. Just a simple demonstration. Let's say we're talking about 37.285 plus a bracket where you have a, because it's a minus number, that's why we're using a bracket, minus 5.34444. Let's say if my new car is going to be weighing 4.5 lbs, what will the mileage I will get? This is what we're trying to find. This is a prediction. See how easy we can do a prediction. It gives me a mileage of 13.2. Understood how we use linear regression to do a prediction? Right? We found that the weight of the car, we created an equation from linear regression. We took the intercept, we took the slope. I know a little bit of statistics. Let's not break our head. This is just a demonstration. Right? We are predicting for the existing cars with this weight. If I'm going to keep a new car with a weight of 4.5, what will the mileage it will give? It gives me a mileage of 13.2. Now I want to find, I want to have a better mileage. I want to do a prediction. How do I do that? So now I don't want to have a 4.5 lbs car. I want to have a more efficient car in terms of weight. I want a 3.75 weight lbs car. 3.75. Now let's see what's the mileage I'll get. I'm almost reducing by 0.75 lbs. Yeah, my mileage goes up to 17.245. I'm getting a better mileage. So if I'm going to make my cars much more lighter, almost like paper, uplum, right? Most of the cars today are like a uplum. That's the reason why you have so many accidents. But if I'm going to make my car weighing 3.5 lbs, see what happens is I'll get a mileage of 18.581. Okay, so this is how a product designing happens. So when you're creating a prototype of the car, and if you know that India market wants cars which are very fuel efficient, that's the reason I buy a car, right? The reason why I buy a motorbike, why people buying electric motorbikes, why electric cars like Nexa, Ather, why they're selling in large numbers? People want fuel efficient cars. They are looking at alternate fuels, right? Which gives me lower maintenance cost. With the fuel price going up at 102 rupees a liter, diesel price at 97 rupees a liter, there's a huge recurring expenses. So as an automobile manufacturer, I'm looking at cars which gives me better mileage. For example, Honda City on a highway can give 27. Indica diesel can give 27, 28 kilometers per liter on a highway. City can give you 19, 20. Very fuel efficient car, right? So this is only one variable what we took the variable of weight. I can take all other variables. I can do a multiple linear regression, right? So what are the other variables I can take? I'll go back, I'll use names. Names for empty cars. Names for empty cars, and then I run it. Right. I just took this miles per gallon and then I took weight. I can take anything. I can take cylinder. If I want to have a two-cylinder car, what would be my miles per? If I want to have a four-cylinder car, gear. If I want to have an automatic gear or a manual transmission, all permutation combination can be done. Based on that, you can take a decision in terms of what should be the weight, what should be the number of transmission, horsepower, multiple. These are called variables. You can take multiple variables. Based on that, you can take a decision. This is prediction. So remember, there's something called descriptive. I'm not getting too technical intentionally. There's something called descriptive, prescriptive, and predictive analytics. So this is predictive. You're predicting. Descriptive is just describing, right? Prescription is you're just prescribing, like what a doctor prescribed. Do this, this is what will happen. So all three has got its own uses, benefits. Depends upon the business problem you're trying to solve. You interchangeably use what's called descriptive, prescriptive, and predictive. This is a prediction. Weight of the car, what would be the mileage? Increase, decrease. What decision I should take, right? So this is, see, remember this, playing with numbers is data analytics. Okay, so all the data, what you saw here, we'll go back to empty cars. So looking at all these numbers is data analytics. Let's get a clarity. I'm looking at 21, 21, 22, 6, 160, 110. All of this is data. I can play with these data numbers, but it's not going to make any sense. Finally, I have to take a business decision, right? And that's where now I have to do permutation, combination, reduce this, reduce that. If that comes in, it becomes business analytics. So now you'd have understood the difference between business. So what is more important, as I started off telling, important to focus on business analytics. Data analytics is stepping stone, launch pad. We can do multiple things provided you know statistics. We did a modeling. We can do a prediction. We can create a decision tree. We can create a random forest. Right. So multiple things can be done using one small data set. Okay. So how do you get this up? I would suggest I can help you out on this. Let me put it up on the chat box. You have a latest version of RStudio. You can download it for free. Late in the afternoon, you can always download this whenever you're free if you got an inclination, interest. There are two packages you need to download. Both of them are important. Sorry, not package, URL. Because one is the engine, the other one is the one which is visible to you now. Right, let me put it up on the chat box. I just put it up. These are two different URLs what you can download. Right. So what we need is just save this in your C drive, not in your landing page or in your what do you call it as the right word? Okay. Okay. Save it in your C drive. Right. It gets into your program files. Both these would get into program files. And the second one is what's the R Studio, what we are working on. The first one is the engine which makes the R Studio to work. So please be careful. Remember, we need to download both. And if you're stuck, you have a lot of YouTube videos which takes you through this entire process of how you can easily navigate through this R. Right? Okay, so I just gave a small demonstration. Like this, you got lakhs and lakhs of free data sets, HR, marketing, finance, operations, everything is available. You've got hundreds of tools. Like I showed you one tool for correlation called CorPlot. That's a data visualization tool. Like that, you got thousands of free data tools available. You should know which tool to use for what, right? And then you can get into HR analytics, marketing, finance analytics, business analytics, right? Operations analytics. This is a classic operation analytics, what we did. We're trying to find something which is about operational capabilities, what people really look at in terms of taking a decision. And that's where we came from. Okay, last 10 minutes to go. If you got any questions, I'll be too happy to answer a few questions or all the questions. Any questions, any feedbacks, anything. I want all of you to talk because we are all great talkers, right? Outside the class, we love to talk all the time, 24 by 7. With your friends, we keep chatting all the time. The same thing is what you have to do here, that's all. It can be in Tamil, it can be in Telugu, Malayalam. I understand all languages, Kannada, Hindi, talk in any language, no problem. Try. But it's about expressing. It can be on anything else. You could say it's boring, okay. Interesting, okay. It made complete sense, perfect. This is the career I'm looking for, still more brilliant. How do I learn this? Any questions? I'm open to any kind of questions. But please remember, unless in your finance classes, everything what you read, theoretical, nowhere you'll use in your company corporate life. Trust me, nowhere. But finance, you'll be using all the time. Analytics is something what you will be using all the time in the corporate world. There's no disconnect at all. Right? Absolutely, it will be in complete synchronization. Right? Okay. So what I suggest is if you want to go on a self-learning mode, there is an amazing website by name Geek for Geeks. Get into this website, Geek for Geeks, and then R Studio for Beginners. R Studio for Beginners. Try this out. Very easy, step by step. You can learn this. Or same Geek for Geek, you could also learn Python. Python is also very easy. Again, Python for beginners. This is one background. No, sorry, it's okay. I got messed up. It's for beginners. I just put up on the chat. Python for beginners. Right. So simple things you can get in. You can give whatever we did. You can get a hang. You can go search in Google. Sorry, you can go search in YouTube. We got a lot of YouTube videos which will teach you for free. This is the basis before you join a course. So once you join to the course, you'll be on the leaderboard. Like what Akshaya was today. Right? She was always on the fly, right? Or probably Hema Karuna initially, and then you had Sri Shakti just adding something else, right? So that's being on the leaderboard, right? Talking, expressing, all this is needed because at the end of the day, when you join a corporate, you're going to do this all point of time. So I'm done with this. I'm done. Unless otherwise you got any questions, we can wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah, that's that's really great. I mean, I'm sorry, there might be some disturbance. I'm actually outside.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just moving on. Okay, that was the program. So wonderful. I must definitely thank Trainer sir and dear all students. I think you would have had a nice learning from in the last almost 2 hours, I believe, and really understand from the students, right? Perspective. You have been very patient and listening all completely in different because the way he has taken up throughout this session is very interesting and definitely you can able to foresee the where is the kind of the future where and how we can take it up all these things. I think definitely would have learned and now probably I think you all guys would have got a good clarity, right? I mean, what is business analytics and what is the industry standard that obviously level and next another 3 4 years, how many billions of worth of business analytics opportunities for the company. I mean, the people there was talking about vice president level also. You know, 1 point really amazing. So definitely keep you all very fresh and energetic. Students once you come out, a lot of talent and inbuilt, a lot of technical. Definitely can demand very high. Definitely in the beginning, it's not even at 20 lakhs also. More than 20 lakhs, you can demand very. I believe definitely. Okay,
Yes.
so that's really good session. Even though the participants registration people were bored, but some of the people have logged in and listened.
Okay.
That's really great. Amazing. And I must appreciate all the students and must also thank the technology has given complete information, right? And a very motivating, complete spirit of learning and other things is brought in. And moreover, see, we also see there are two things I just wanted to tell. We are into MBA Business Analytics. Sorry, not in good condition. And Business Analytics level, MBA Business Analytics, we can get into that. Or we also come out with a kind of short term. It's about 4 months to 6 months certified business analytics, wherein PFP we call it, pay after placement. It means you don't need to pay any fees at all. You can just get into the program. And once you get trained completely, within 4 to 6 months, all the place with the company in your hand. And anything less than 4 lakhs, you don't need to pay again. When anything above 4 lakhs, you get a confirmation. Maximum goes to 3 lakhs. You can plan what you'll be paying in the EMI. So that's the sort of facilities we'll be bringing. So it means it's pay after placement for 6 days. You're going to start paying the kind of that's the kind of program we have. It's and moreover you're going to have other MBA analytics for CBA part through our Kshetragna guidance. The team is there. Free to really doing a lot. Straight, you're going to and do and have a good position also. So you can very well there is already application there that IIKM that you fill it up and send it and submit it. The middle of team will be talking and they will facilitate a lot of things right how to talk about. We are there always to support. So so you can get into the website and you can take or people number also anytime you can reach me or anyone something from IIKM, right? So we will do the necessary things for. Okay. So I must say thanks. So thanks so much for Kshetragna as well as I must appreciate all the students here. So please be prepared for this and you can plan accordingly and get into it. Okay. So once again, thanks to everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless.
you. All
All
the
the
best.
best. All the
All the
best to all the students. Take care. Keep doing the good work. Take care then. See you. Bye bye.